Hey, okay, today we are going to talk about Edgar Degas. Let's see, Edgar Degas was born in Paris, France. Here's a picture of him that someone drew in 1834. Let's see, let me show you another picture of him. This is what he did this picture. This is a self-portrait he did at age 31. So you kind of get an idea of what he looked like. Okay, let's see. Edgar's father was a wealthy banker who loved art and music. He would take his son to many museums in Paris. It was at these museums where Degas' love of art began. He was fascinated with the old masters. Okay, and I'm going to show you another picture that goes along with this. It's an example of one of the paintings that he loved. Let's see if you guys recognize either of these paintings. So to him, these would have been old masters. To us, he's an old master, right? So like Raphael, Leonardo da Vinci, and Andrea Mantegna. I might have said that wrong, so I apologize. But these are all older artists that he would have loved to just sit there and look at and try to figure out how they did their work. He went to school to become a lawyer, but instead of going to class, he would sneak out and go to the Louvre, which is the most famous museum in France. And he would study and copy the masterpieces just like we do, right? That's what we're doing today, we're gonna copy Degas. He finally told his father that he wanted to be an artist, not a lawyer, and his father said, okay. When he was 22, he went to Italy to study Italian painters. He learned a lot about painting from that experience. When he came back to Paris, his friends, let's see if you guys recognize these names, ready? Claude Monet, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, and others convinced him to show some paintings with them at the Salon. This group of artists became known as one of the most famous groups of artists ever, the Impressionists. Impressionists were known for painting in natural light outside. Their paintings were common of everyday objects and everyday people. Like these dancers, right? This would be their life. They're practicing, they love to do things like that. Or just something you'd see at a park or a family eating lunch. Those things would be examples of paintings that they would do. Edgar Degas was one of these Impressionists. He didn't like to paint outside though. So he'd sit outside with his friends and he'd sketch what he wanted to paint, and then he'd go back to a salon where he could paint alone and indoors. He is most famous for his beautiful paintings of the ballet. He enjoyed showing dancers in all forms, from stretching in class to performing on stage. Late in his life, he lost his eyesight. Because of this, he made many beautiful wax figures of dancers instead of paintings. Degas' beautiful dancers are known all over the world. He died on September 27th, 1917, and he was 83. But I just thought it was super cool that instead of just giving up and saying, oh, the thing that I love the most because I'm blind, I can't do this anymore, and he chose another art form, which is sculpting, where he could feel and he could know what he was doing with his fingers and imagine what it looked like. So, all right, you ready? Today, we're gonna try to draw not all of these dancers. We're just gonna focus on this one dancer up in the front. So here's some examples over here of some dancers that were done by other people, teachers and other people at the school. You can see they're all different colors, they're all different maybe positions, and maybe some of them drew a stage, some of them didn't draw a stage, or some of them are on an angle. There's all different things. For the younger grades, this is what we would do. It's a little bit simpler to draw. It's a little easier than drawing a dancer standing on one foot. But you can choose whichever one you are adventurous enough to try. So we will be working with the chalk pastels. So if you have these at home, pull them out. Or we'll also draw one with crayons. And we're going to work on trying to blend the color with crayons. It's a little different than using the chalk pastels. If you really want to try it with the chalk pastels, they have some at the school, and if you come into the office, I'm sure we could check out a box. You could borrow it and then just bring it back when you're done. All right, so I'm just gonna set this on the floor and grab another sheet. Let's see. The vocabulary term that we're learning about today is called foreshortening. Okay, foreshortening has to do with the fact that when things are closer or farther away, it has to do with perspective and how we draw them. So if things like her leg, right? This leg looks long, right? You can imagine it. And this leg, because it's farther away and behind her, it looks smaller. So it has to do with the perspective and how they drew it. Okay? Let's see. It's an artist technique to show depth. So, let's see. This was completed in 1879. And anyway, there's lots of questions I could ask you. Like, what do you notice first in this painting? Maybe let's think about that. What colors stand out? I mean, if you're looking at this quick, there's kind of a couple colors that I notice. I have a greenish color, a greenish blue, and a reddish orange. Why do you think he used those colors? Did you know that red and green are actually complementary colors? And to me, it kind of looks blue and orange. So I don't know why they say red and green, but blue and orange also go well together. Look at the dancer's arms. She has two arms, right? Where do they end? You notice that one arm comes clear up here, even past her tutu, and the other arm kind of goes down here. It kind of hides behind this other dancer's legs, but it kind of goes to the edge of her tutu, whereas this one goes up and past the tutu. All right, do you see her back foot right here? Why does it look so short? That's that foreshortening we were talking about. She's bending her leg, and because it's behind her, we only see part of her leg, and that's why it's called foreshortening, or that's how they make it look the way that they do. Does she have a lot of details on her face? Not a ton, right? You see her lips and her nose and her eyes and her eyebrows and, ears, but it's not like super detailed. And did you notice that Degas uses different colors to highlight? So it's not, if you get close, you notice that he's got like a darker blue up here around her neck and everything. But then the skin's really pale. And then they got the dark hair. So he uses all different colors and mixes different colors to make it look the way it does. All right, so let's get started. Okay. All right, we're going to start by using, I'm trying to remember, I think we use a light color. That's what I remember using. Sorry, guys, I'm checking my sheet. Okay, let's start with like a blue or a green. So I'm going to use this light blue, but you could use dark blue or you could use one of the greens. And we're just going to kind of sketch her all out, okay? You're going to want to turn your paper the tall way, the portrait way is what this is called, okay? And I'm going to draw on this paper with the pastels, the chalk pastels, and then I'll also draw on this paper with the crayons. And I'm going to draw the younger grade picture on this one. Okay, so just know, follow the one that you're choosing to do today, all right? Okay, so here we go. We're gonna start by drawing her face. And we're not gonna draw all these details or a perfect face, but we're just gonna draw an oval, okay? Oval, and then we're gonna draw her two arms. You ready? One arm's gonna kind of come up and bend. Okay, and the other arm's gonna come diagonal down. Okay, you can imagine the dancer right here, right? Standing, and they don't usually, when people dance, they extend their bodies. They're not gonna sit all curled up and stuff. It doesn't look beautiful. The way to look beautiful is to fully extend. So that's what we're drawing. Fully extended arms, okay? All right, so here we go. Now, if I'm drawing with crayons don't blend as well, so I would actually probably choose something that's going to be the skin color that I want my dancer to have. So maybe a brown or a peach, probably something that's more skin color. And so let's see, I think I will do kind of this peachy color. Okay, and I'm going to draw the other dancer. Okay, so this dancer, instead of having her arms spread out and standing on one foot, she is going to be standing more kind of something like this. Okay, so it's just a little bit simpler. We don't have to worry about the foreshortening. We don't have to worry about diagonal arms or anything. Okay, but we will still start with the face in the middle. This is an oval. Okay, and then we will draw her arms. Well, we'll draw kind of her shoulders coming down a little bit, like that. And then we're going to draw her arms coming up like this. Okay. All right. Now, moving on. We're going to add a few more details to our dancer. Okay. Now this, if you look, you can't really see her neck, right? So we're going to kind of draw the front of her dress so that you'll be able to see that. But first I'm going to draw her hair. She's got this great big bun right here in the back. There's her bun. And then we're going to draw the front of her dress. This. And you're just drawing a curve, and then you're going to draw a second curve underneath it that comes a little deeper. Okay? It almost looks like the smile on a smiley face, a big open mouth smile. Okay? All right. And on our other picture, we'll kind of do the same. We'll draw just that top section, right? Now, I think I'm going to stick with this peach color. I'm going to draw her body coming down like this, and her waist is going to come in like this, okay? And then we're going to draw her skirt coming out like this, kind of a poof. Because we can come back, because this peach color is so light, we can come back and do another color over the top of it. It's not like we have to leave her dress peach. Okay, back to the other guy. Now, we are going to do a couple things. Right now, her arms look like sticks, right? We don't want her arms to look like sticks. We have to add some thickness, right? So I'm going to do, if you look, her hands are going to be together, just like in this picture. So her fingers are close together, and then that's her thumb down here. So we're just going to keep it simple. Okay, have her hand come in, come to the elbow, and then, got it? And it's okay if it's not perfect. We are learning. So to get people perfect, you have to practice. So if this is something you want to get good at, then do it again. You don't have to just do it once. All right, let's fix the other arm, come down, do her hand, okay, have it come up. All right, she's got super long arms, right? Okay. Oh, one more thing on this. We're gonna do her big skirt coming out, okay? Her great big tutu. You're gonna wanna draw just a great big circle. See, and I'm kind of messing up, and I'm like, oh, that's not quite where I want it. So then I kind of just add to a little bit to make sure it kind of goes where I want it to go. But I want it to be a great big circle tutu. Okay. All right, we're gonna switch back to the other dancer. Okay, we already got her tutu, but we need to, again, draw another line to follow her arms, to make her arms so they don't just look like a stick figure. And to do that, you're gonna follow the outline of where your other thing is. Maybe add an elbow, bring it down, come and kind of add a little bit of an elbow, and then bring it down. And it's hard to get this right again. So if you see something that you kind of want to fix, then kind of fix it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm going to draw her little thumbs in here because I think that looks a little better for her to have her hands open, because it's hard when her thumbs are connected like that. Okay, now on this one, we're also just going to finish the skirt, finish the bottom of the skirt. Okay. Oh, and we probably ought to add a bun on her head. We're going to do a bun right on top because she looks like she's facing right at us. Okay. Now, our ballet dancer has no feet, so I think we probably ought to add the feet. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at this foot. Notice how she's turned it out, okay? Meaning instead of it pointing straight at you, it's turned to the side. Does that kind of make sense? This is to help her balance, okay? So when you draw her foot, it's gonna come down and it's gonna turn out to the side, okay? And just do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're doing the best we can, okay? And the other foot comes clear up here behind her, right? It's gonna come up and out, and she'll kind of be pointing her toe, okay? All right. Now that we've done that, let's see, I'm trying to think. Let's add some feet to our other dancer. How about that? Okay, so really quickly, we'll just come down and we're gonna draw the legs down like this. And then I'm gonna have her standing on her toes. So drawing her feet pointing down like this. Ooh, one of my feet's bigger than the other, but that's okay. We'll fix it when I color on her ballet slippers. All right, okay, let's add some more detail. Let's see, we'll add her sleeves. Maybe do kind of a ruffly sleeve. We're gonna add, I think it'd be nice if we added maybe a flower right here, or a bow on the edge of her. See, like, just like this one. How he'll put like a big flower right here, where that's what we're kind of adding right there, is a flower. Let's see, what else would be nice? Maybe you can go around the edge of your tutu and do these little U's. That it'll kind of help make your tutu look fluffy on the side. You could even have it kind of come out, so it will end up making it look not so two-dimensional. Make it look a little bit, have more texture to it. You do small ones, big ones. Oof, sorry, I'm not fast at this. Work your way around. You're kind of turning into C's instead of U's, aren't they? All right, okay, so all the way around. You know what else we probably should do is maybe give our dancer a face. So you can do this in your blue, but I think I would rather do it in more what I would have their face color be. So I think mine's gonna have brown hair. So we'll draw the hairline, right? Come like this, around her ear, and then it's just gonna come across the hair like this, okay? And then this is all gonna end up being colored brown. I'm sure you guys can imagine that, okay? You don't have to color it at this point. I'm just showing you. And then we're gonna draw eyebrows, at least one eyebrow, because she's kind of not facing towards us. So, and then draw her nose, okay? And you know, it's always good to have a mouth. So if you want to draw a mouth, you can draw a mouth, or just keep it simple. Like, I think I'm just gonna make her smiley, because you know, mouths are hard for me. All right, let's see. Is there anything else we're missing? Oh, you see how she's floating in the air? It might be a good idea to add a stage for her to dance on. But instead of doing it right here by her toe, you do it a little bit behind, so it doesn't look like she's bouncing on the very top of the stage. It looks like she's got stage behind her. You can draw it clear back here. You could draw it straight across, like, or you can do, like this one did it on an angle a little bit. See how they did lines to make it look like it's on an angle? You can do that too, so. Either way you want to do it. You can do a little bit of detail on it just to draw attention to it. But really you want everybody's attention on your dancer. Okay, let's finish up this other dancer a little bit. Okay, she definitely needs a face, I think. But this girl, I'm gonna do yellow hair, Okay, and since it's the front, I'm gonna have her hair come down in the front. And she's gonna have yellow hair. Okay, let's see how I can kind of cover up that peachy color. That's why I chose that color when we're drawing. And give her some yellow eyebrows to match her hair, and then give her probably a nose would be good. And give her a smile. And then for her eyes, I'll probably just keep it simple and do like 2 dots. Ooh. And try to get them where you want them to be. But again, we're learning. So part of this is the process. That's really what we're enjoying. Fix it as best you can, and then just say, it's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and this dancer, I think I'm gonna do the top line of her dress. Have it come up like this and come down, and then maybe draw something cool on her waist. You could do like even a big bow. Big bow, maybe do 2 big circles next to each other, and then kind of have the ties of the bow come down. Okay. And then come down and follow your line down and make your dress the color you want. I chose red. You don't have to choose red. You can choose whatever color you want. And then on this one, it's probably good to give it texture as well. So I'm going to draw some lines coming down, and they kind of curve and follow the outside lines. So you can see these lines follow this curve, and these lines follow that curve. And that's to kind of make her tutu look goofy. All right, now we're to the point where we just get to go and color and enjoy. So unless, let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Just show them how to blend on the chalk one.
Oh yeah, let me show you how we can do some cool stuff with the colors on the chalk one, okay? The cool thing about chalk is you can see we have all our main stuff sketched out in sky blue or whatever color you chose. I'm going to go around and draw just a little bit more lines on my tutu to make it look like it's really standing out on her. But then I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, okay, now I want it to look kind of like, I don't know if you've seen a dancer's costume before, but a lot of times they're made out of this tulle, which is like a really thin fabric that looks kind of like a net. So I want mine to kind of look like that. So I'm gonna come back in here with the white, and I'm gonna color next to my blue. Okay, you see that? And then you can just take your finger around and see, look, I'm already getting messy, but that's okay. We get messy on this one. You can go and you can blend the 2 colors together, and it kind of makes this soft look. Instead of it just being a straight structured line, you can go back in. And if you look at Degas' picture, he's got all kinds of little different colors added in there, right? He's got some dark blue, like around the base of her dress. He kind of has a dark blue, and then like a little necklace here around the girl, right? Little necklace right there on her neck. And then he's got little orange flowers along the edge. So he went and did little orange flowers. But again, to make it so that it kind of blends in a little bit better, you can just take your finger and just kind of rub it a little bit. And that's what gives it kind of that blurry painted look. So just, I mean, you can see what needs to be done. Add the ballet slippers, right? And the laces. And just go back in and finish your picture and your coloring. See, I don't think her skin should be blue, right? So you go in and color her skin the way you want to, and just be careful, and just know that if you smear your face, it's okay. Just go back over it and draw it again with the chalk pastel, because that's the other cool thing about this, is if things get smeared and I don't like how blurry her face looks and I want it to look a little better, then I just go back in, and you see how you can just draw it again right over the top of it. So anyway, get creative and enjoy.